everyone, I am Deep Patel from the Department of Mechanical Engineering. As you all know, we were discussing about the chapter number 10, that is refrigeration and air conditioning. In our last lecture, we have discussed about some basic definitions like what is the meaning of refrigeration, what is the meaning of refrigerant, what is the meaning of refrigerator, and what is the meaning of COP. Also, we have discussed about some important properties of the refrigerant. Then we have start the discussion about the VCRS, that is the vapor compression refrigeration system. So in the vapor compression refrigeration system, there were total 4 components. First is the compressor, second is the condenser, third is the expansion device, and fourth is the evaporator. So these were the 4 components, and the refrigerant was circulating in these 4 components, and after that it will produce the cooling effect. Okay, so that was the method of circulation in the VCRS. Okay, so generally this vapor compression refrigeration system is used in all over the refrigerator and air conditioner, which we are going to use in our daily life. Okay, but here there is one problem with the VCRS, that is the vapor compression refrigeration system. So in this lecture, first of all, we will discuss about the what are the problems with the VCRS. Then we will discuss about the alternative technology that we have, that is the vapor absorption refrigeration system, that is the VARS. So first of all, we will discuss about the problems of VCRS. Then to resolve that problems, we will use the VARS. So we will discuss about some benefits of the VARS. Then we will compare this VCRS and the VARS system. Okay, so first of all, you have to understand what are the problems related to the VCRS. Okay, so in the VCRS there were total 4 components: compressor, condenser, expansion device, and the evaporator. In these 4 components, only the compressor is the power consuming device, because to run the compressor we need to supply some electricity. So the compressor is the power consuming device. Okay. Also, if we talk about the cost of the entire VCRS system, then the compressor is the most costlier device. Okay. So the cost of the entire system is because of the compressor. Also the compressor is the power consuming device. So if we talk about the any place where there is a problem of electricity or the electricity is not available, there we cannot use this type of VCRS system. So where the electricity is not available, there we can use VARS system. Okay, so let us talk about the what is the meaning of vapor absorption refrigeration system. So let us start. So this is the diagram of vapor absorption refrigeration system. Here from the figure itself you can understand that here there is no compressor. Okay, but the 3 components are same as it is. Here there is a condenser, here there is an expansion device, and here there is a evaporator. Okay, so 3 components are as it is: condenser, expansion device, and the evaporation. Here we have remove the compressor and we have put the absorber and the generator system. Now to remove the compressor we have to use 2 devices. One is known as the absorber and second is known as the generator. So first of all, to understand vapor absorption refrigeration system, you have to understand as what is the function of the compressor. What compressor was doing? Compressor was taking low pressure, low temperature vapor refrigerant, then it will compress it. So the vapor refrigerant will convert into the high pressure, high temperature vapor refrigerant. Then we were supplying this high pressure, high temperature vapor refrigerant into the condenser. So the basic function of compressor was that it will compress the refrigerant only. So the pressure and temperature of the refrigerant will becomes very high. Okay, this was the simple function of the compressor. So how we can do that function with the help of absorber and the generator, that we have to understand, so we can easily understand the VARS system. Okay, so first of all, In the VCRS, we were using only one refrigerant. That refrigerant may be R11, R12, CFC or anywhere. Okay, but here in the VARS system, we are going to use refrigerant and one absorber. Okay, so what is the refrigerant and what is the absorber? Here we are going to use refrigerant as a ammonia and absorber as the H2O, that is the water. Okay, now what happens here? In the evaporator there is the ammonia, so the ammonia will convert into the vapor, and finally at the outlet of the evaporator we can get low pressure low temperature vapor ammonia. Okay, so this low pressure low temperature vapor ammonia will enters into the absorber. Now in the absorber there will be a water, so the water will absorb the ammonia, and ultimately what becomes NH3 plus H2O solution. That NH3 plus H2O solution is known as the aqua ammonia solution. Also it is known as the strong solution. So here I have write strong solution. So what is the meaning of strong solution? Strong solution is the aqua ammonia solution. H2O, that is the water plus ammonia. Okay, so here in the absorber the aqua ammonia solution is generated. So here you can see that low pressure low temperature liquid aqua ammonia solution is present in the absorber. Now here we are going to use pump. Okay, so in pump will supply the aqua ammonia solution from the absorber to the generator. We all know that pump is the device which is used to increase the pressure of any liquid. Okay, so in the absorber there is a low pressure low temperature liquid aqua ammonia solution is present. So with the help of pump we are going to increase the pressure of the aqua ammonia solution and it will reach to the generator. So in the generator, now initially in the generator what is present? The aqua ammonia solution at high pressure low temperature in the liquid form. Now in the generator what we are going to do? In the generator we will supply some heat energy. So the aqua ammonia solution will gain some heat in the generator. So what happens? The boiling point of the ammonia and the boiling point of the water is different. Okay, so when the aqua ammonia solution will gain the heat, the ammonia will vaporize and the H2O will remains in the liquid form. Okay, so ammonia will convert into the gas and the water will remains as a liquid in the generator because the boiling point of ammonia and H2O is different. Okay, so what happens here? In the generator the ammonia is becomes vapor and the water will remains in the liquid form. Okay, so we can say that the strong solution is becomes the weak solution. So ultimately our aim is completed. Our aim was to generate high pressure high temperature vapor refrigerant. Here the refrigerant is ammonia. So we have generate in the generator high pressure high temperature vapor ammonia. Okay, so this is the function of compressor and we have do this with the help of absorber and the generator. Okay, so ultimately we can gain high pressure high temperature vapor ammonia. Now this high pressure high temperature vapor ammonia will enters into the condenser. In the condenser it will reject the heat to the atmosphere and finally it will convert into the high pressure low temperature liquid ammonia. So in the condenser the phase changes occurs. The vapor ammonia will convert into the liquid ammonia. Now this high pressure low temperature liquid ammonia is enters into the expansion device. Okay, or we can say it is a throttling device or the capillary tube. In the expansion device we all know that the enthalpy will remains constant and the pressure of the liquid ammonia will reduce. So at the outlet point of the expansion device what we are getting? We can get low pressure low temperature liquid ammonia. Now this low pressure low temperature liquid ammonia will go into the evaporator. In the evaporator it will gain some heat because evaporator is the our freezer, so indoor unit of the freezer. Okay, so what happens? It will gain some heat from the fruits, vegetable or water which was placed inside the refrigerator. So in the evaporator, the liquid ammonia will gain some heat, so it will becomes vapor from the liquid. So ultimately at the outlet point of the evaporator, what we are getting? Low pressure, low temperature, vapor ammonia. So ultimately this cycle is repeated again. So what happens? This low pressure, low temperature, vapor ammonia will enters into the absorber. In the absorber already there will be a water. So the water and ammonia will be mixed. So we can generate low pressure, low temperature aqua ammonia solution which will be available in the liquid phase. Then we are going to increase the pressure of that liquid with the help of pump, and finally that aqua ammonia solution will reach at the generator. In the generator it will gain some heat so that the ammonia will convert into the high temperature, high pressure vapor, and the liquid or the H2 which will be available in the generator will supply back to the absorber from the throttle bar. Okay, so again we can say that the high pressure, high temperature vapor ammonia is present in the generator, and the remaining solution which is called weak solution will enters into the absorber, and that high pressure, high temperature vapor ammonia will enters into the condenser where it will be condensed. After that it will be going to the expansion device, then evaporator, then absorber, then generator. So this cycle is repeated again and again. Okay, so this is the vapor absorption refrigeration system. So here you can see that here we are not using the compressor, but we are going to fulfill the function of compressor with the help of absorber and the generator. Okay, so this is the VARS system. Okay, so all the description is given here. So the main components of the VARS are absorber, generator, throttle valve, condenser, expansion device, and evaporator. So here the ammonia is used as a refrigerant and water is used as a absorbent. Okay. So in the process number 1 to 2, what happens? The low temperature, low pressure vapor refrigerant or the ammonia is entered into the absorber. In the absorber, there is a weak solution is already present, and after the ammonia enters into the absorber, the mixture is generated, that is the aqua ammonia solution, and finally this aqua ammonia solution will becomes the strong solution. Then it will enters into the generator with the help of pump, and the pressure is rise. Okay. Then process 2 to 3, in the condenser what happens? The vapor ammonia will enter and it will be converted into the liquid. This condensation process is done at the constant pressure. Okay. Next is the process 3 to 4. In the process number 3 to 4, again the enthalpy will remains constant. It is the expansion process, so that the pressure will be reduced. Okay. Next is the process 4 to 1. In the process 4 to 1, what happens? The vapor liquid refrigerant will enters into the evaporator, and in the evaporator it will convert into the low temperature, low pressure vapor. Okay, by gaining some heat from the refrigerator body. So this is the process 4 to 1. In the evaporator, the pressure will remains constant. Okay, so we can say that in the VARS system, from the absorber to the generator, from the generator to the condenser, then from the condenser to the expansion device, and from the expansion device to the evaporator, this is how the refrigerant will be circulated in the VARS system. Okay, so this is what all about the VARS system. So let us do the comparison between the VCRS and the VARS. The VCRS we have already discussed in our first lecture, and the VARS we have discussed in this lecture. So you can easily compare both this system. So vapor compression refrigeration system. So here first of all, the refrigerant is compressed into the compressor in the vapor compression refrigeration system. But in the VARS, where refrigerant will be absorbed in the absorber, and then it will gain some heat. So we can say that the refrigerant is absorbed and then it is heated. Next, here the mechanical work is supplied by the compressor. Okay, and here the heat energy is supplied to the generator. Okay, so this is the basic difference to run the compressor we need electricity, but here we do not need any type of electricity. We can only supply the heat, and heat is available in the solar energy. So we can use the heat from the sun, and we can run the VARS system. Okay. The problem with the VARS is that it is having the low COP. So we can compare the COP of the VCRS and VARS. Then the VCRS is having the high COP and the VARS is having the low COP. Next, the capacity. So the VCRS system having a capacity about only 1000 tons. But here the VARS system having no capacity, we can use above the 1000 tons. Okay. Next, in the VCRS system, we are going to use the compressor, and we know that there is a noise generated in the compressor. So we can say that there is a problem of noise in the VCRS, but here there is no problem of any kind of noise. So we can say that it is a quiet operation. Next, the more leakage due to the high pressure in the VCRS. In the VCRS, we are generating very high pressure in the compressor. So the chances of leakage is very high in the VCRS, but the chances of leakage is very less in the VARS, because here we are going to use pump instead of compressor. Next, high operating cost. Okay, because we are using the compressor, and the compressor is the costlier device, so the operating cost is high. Also the electricity consumption is very high, so we can say that it is the high operating cost. Here low operating cost. Next, R12 is the suitable refrigerant. Okay, we can use R11, R12, R134A in the vapor compression refrigeration system. But here in the VARS, the ammonia is the suitable refrigerant. Okay, so this is what the comparison between the vapor compression refrigeration system and the vapor absorption refrigeration system. Okay, so in this lecture we have discussed two topics. First is the vapor absorption refrigeration system, and second we have done the comparison between the VCRS and the VARS. Okay, so thank you for today.